Welcome to Crafty Hints. I'm Chantel. If you're new here, please take a second to introduce yourself in the comments box. And I hope that you'll enjoy enough to hit the subscribe button and give me a thumbs up. I want to thank all of my new subscribers and welcome you to today's video. All right. All of today's videos have a little bit of a plant theme to them. So let's get into some spring DIYs that would be good enough to give as a Mother's Day gift. DIY number 1 is these plant markers. So I started with this air dry clay from Hobby Lobby. I believe it was $9.99, but every other week I believe it's about 30% off. I worked it with my hands a bit and just got it nice and smooth. And you'll want to then just put wax paper underneath it, and then I put it on top and rolled it out. It isn't a super moist clay, and it does dry if you work it too much. So I really didn't have any issues with it starting to dry on me. Next, I took a lid and I used that as my circle. And you want it about 1/4 of an inch thick. And so I wanted 3 of them. And then you just take a little bit of water and rub that around the edges to smooth it out. For this to dry properly, you want the clay as even as possible. Otherwise, it may dry unevenly and crack. Next, I took some of my herbs. This is rosemary, and I just wanted to get the impression of it. So I placed it down, and then I put the wax paper on top to avoid the fingerprints and to get a better impression. You can just press it in there and rub just a little bit. And there it is, kind of like leaf rubbings when you're a kid, right? Okay. And this is oregano, so just try and find the veiny side. Again, just press that on there. Give it a little bit of a rub. You don't want to press too hard. Just enough to get a bit of an impression. And the last one is basil. I decided I wanted the front of this one because it had such a neat texture to it. Now, next, what I'm going to be doing is putting the words on there for the names of the herbs. To do this, I'm going to take some water and I'm going to rub it across the tag. You don't want it super moist. As you can see, I barely have any water there. I'm just tapping it and rubbing it. And so I will include a download for these. Initially, I'd forgotten and I didn't reverse that image. You want the image reversed if you make your own. So I pressed that on there and let it sit for 2 full minutes, and I checked it. I just kind of rubbed it just a little bit, making sure that all of the ink, seeped into that clay. Then you want to let them dry for at least 24 hours. Every time I thought about them, I just kept flipping them over so that they would dry evenly. I kind of read up on it, and people that have put them in the oven and things like that to speed it up have had a little more cracking. So I just decided to be a patient crafter, which isn't in my nature sometimes. I just want to get to it. So I wanted to show you that you can definitely paint these. That was some burnt umber with a lot of water. And this is what it looked like. I decided I wanted to keep it white for mine. And you can see when I had that in reverse, I went ahead and used those as ones to kind of play with and just decided I liked it the way it was. I might go back and maybe just paint the edges or something, but I kind of just like that natural to it. And so I'm just showing here that you could attach it, just putting a skewer in there and hanging it from it. You would want to put a seal over it though, and so I used some dishwasher safe Mod Podge, and I'm just putting that on both sides. Now on my terracotta pot, I decided to put some burlap ribbon, and it's just real thin ribbon that I found. Oh, I got this one at Michael's just right after Christmas. It was like 80 or 90% off. Always a great thing to do is hit those after season sales. And so I just hot glued this all the way around. I left a little bit of a gap here and put my rope there so that I will be able to attach the tag. And just continuing that, you can just see that rope's just hanging off there so that I can loop it through my tag and tie it off. And this is just so simple, but it would be so pretty to give to your mom, wouldn't it? Give her a fresh batch of herbs this year. Okay, DIY number 2. This is super simple, but I thought that it turned out nice and wanted to share with you. There are a couple different sizes of these globes you can find at the Dollar Tree. I used a little bit of my Goo Gone spray. I really do like it in the spray bottle. It's kind of handy to get that off. Just a reminder, any of the supplies and things that I use, I link down below so that you don't have to try and write this all down quick. It'll all be below. Then I took some rocks from the Dollar Tree, just these little white pebbles, and put those in the bottom. And then in the floral section, I also found these little faux moss covered stones. It's just several different textures there. I think it just made it really pretty. And I do hope that you're going to let me know which one you like the most at the end. I enjoy reading your comments, and I respond to every single comment that is posted. Next, I just pressed my faux succulent in there. And see, it just kind of has a couple layers there. It's very pretty. And there's the bigger one. And that's all there is to it. It is just a few minute DIY and it's good to go. I think even Mom would like this as a gift with a card. Don't you think? A cute little decor piece. Okay, DIY number 3 is a wreath, and it's with a couple different types of lavender that I got from Walmart. This long, pretty lavender is, I want to say $3.47 at Walmart. Oh, but it is so pretty. I really thought I was going to just do the wreath with this, but I also end up taking that thinner lavender later from Walmart. That's 97 cents. So this wire ring that I'm using is from one of the spheres that you can buy at the Dollar Tree. I think it has like 3 rings in one, and I just undid them. So then I'm attaching this lavender to the ring with some floral wire. And I'm going just down, you can kind of see there's a little prickly thing there and a little bit of a flower, and I just attach it right around there. The next piece, I make sure that the flower's on top of that so that it will cover up that floral wire. And you just continue to bend your flowers around that ring, and then the wire will adhere both of them and continue that going around. And you just go around a few times and then clip it, and you just continue this all the way around the wreath. I just thought this felt just so springy. You could add one of the welcome signs from the metal words from the Dollar Tree. That could be pretty too. All right, now I'm just gluing those down a little bit on top of that wire, just making sure that it isn't seen. We want this to be nice and neat so that we could put it on a door in our home, on our front door. And this is that other lavender. And really all you have to do is just pull these right off and they're kind of V'd in. The flowers make a V. So I put them back and forth. I put them going to the outside of the ring, and then I flip them and have them going to the inside of the ring. And I'm just gluing them to the back. And I continue this all the way around the ring. It's pretty easy. I'm going back and forth just after each flower. So after the big purple flower, I just put one way, and then after the next flower, I go the other way. I do hope that if you're enjoying all of these DIYs, that you will enjoy my friends and family here and continue to grow this channel. I'm getting close to that 1,000 mark, and I would love to hit that. So join us. Have some coffee on Saturday mornings as these videos come out at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. All right, I've got all those. Now I just cut apart the V's for the extras. I decided that the ones on the inside, I would just glue an extra single one, and just to give them a little bit more to them in the center. And here's this. All right, and that's going to conclude us for today. Thanks again for joining me. Have a wonderful day.